Dear Scott Ritter, I agree with you what you're saying about the Constitution, but you're doing it exactly the way I warned people were going to be doing. Are doing it increasingly, pretending to care for the Constitution, pretending, and then ask me, "Oh, what's the First Amendment? What's that?" That's not the important thing. You want to have those debates with a nature that can't defend itself and afford the quality of fact, human nature necessary to be used there. You don't bring up the constitutions. I mean, they've been doing it, but no, the amendments and leaving out how the breaching method was measuring to maintain who brought forward the revolution through a war that everyone lied about because they were forced to counter extorted. The Constitution is supposed to get unabridged. That's how you know what the Constitution means. We need free speech because they're attaching us to fake words. That means there's still fake law. They're getting away with it because they're measuring, they're using knowledge to play trick games like that. Ask us questions. You guys need to follow mandated law. Mr. Judge Napolitano and you. It's no disrespect for you guys. I asked on Facebook before you guys were off Fox News. Fox News attached me to fake locations, fake words, fake ties to other people, fake natures of ties to other people, all kinds of confessions tied that connected people that I only know from that context. They can't go back and be honest about, like police forms that would yell out things about their girlfriends and things like that. Former director of the FBI's co-defendants, federal criminals, and their family members before they got caught involved with federal criminals, with federal crimes with kids with campuses I went to, natures of identity theft, fraud, slanders instances. These little punks that scream things out that have connections between themselves. So Central Connecticut State University and Trinity College has people that have been with the intelligence community since they were little kids, fabricating audio and video. The criminally foreign influence differentially too, per uses of the campuses where we have alliances. We have Russian shared here and there with fire departments. I don't know if you know that or allowed to admit it, Scott Ritter, but they're with our fire departments and with medical campuses. Delusions wrought, criminally foreign influence since founding. And you bring up racism. You guys are blaming because you guys are being using that as color racketeering. In other words, you guys had obligations when you speak for the law or for the military. The exception nature tied to the three branches of government. You know, you were leaving out exceptions and exception nature, where and how you guys are employed fronts offensively to identity theft, fraud, slanders roles, planting evidences at locations increasingly since founding. What were witch trials about? Why was it never brought up simultaneously? How all kinds of sick laws were against every single person? Because why and how come that is not used? The same reason it's not used for anyone when people say, "Oh, how come George Washington had slavery?" and the people defend him in collusion with it, arrays in collusion with the same illusions and tactically propagated, self-cultivated physical delusions too, wrought with the opinions and convictions. And then you guys go and pretend passions and emotions. Follow mandated law. Get me a response for the New Britain Superior Court, Hartford courts, Middletown courts, all with personal ties to people with predicate acts. On my street in Weathersfield, as people involved with that were other places I lived next to them too. So it was recorded. Former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, former standing chairperson on Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, regarded roles with you guys, roles with the news media, and then with your personal and other lives where you guys prevent mandated law. Then you self-value roles, sticking fake things in the database, pretend you don't understand me. You understand what Fox News attached me to fake words means. You understand what that's a whole bunch of different things you guys brought up. You understand that when I tried to make simple sentences about this, the news media included with their own fabricated things with the wire crimes, also as ones with the police forms and the courts, fabricating audio and video and then hiding that, which is a whole bunch of other natures of juxtaposed, distinct natures of crime methods and their roles and uses of elderly homes. You see elderly homes, you think law, honest speaking for the law, spoke for elderly homes? Do you know Chris Walters? Because he used to, he's one of the ones that was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated various ways by a colonel involved with some wire crimes with Weathersfield police, and with the military's roles with Afghanistan families here, and with Korean families on off the on off the state prison offices, on off the state judicial branch offices in low cases and next to it. Also involved with federal crimes with a whole bunch of names that live next to and work next to spots like Trinity College and Central Connecticut State University that have intercities been stacking allusions into the databases and worse, into the databases at the schools and connecting natures of identity thefts and frauds rolls through time. There's also a Ray Reynolds. There are a whole bunch of names at Central Connecticut State University, like a Jamie Carone, who's recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, also involved with fact-cheating nature racketeering. That shows how the identity sciences share how it was is being exploited intercampuses through time. And, and how they were getting away with it by preventing writing. So New Britain Superior Court, Hartford courts have roles with people switching and forging names. Also, criminal uses of their locations associated with the deposition of former director of the FBI, former standing chairperson on Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act, Robert Luskin, and his lawyer, Robert Chevalier, and three co-defendants of his, Thaddeus Grabowski, John LeConte, and Dominic Lapriata, recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed, also roles with the ones actively involved with wire crimes and with the Weathersfield police, with them fabricating audio and video on my street, sequence shifts, spreading lies through my neighbors to them about me and me about them. Also using true sickly. For example, Mike DeMaine, I never had a conversation with Adam DeMaine. Mike DeMaine went out of his way to make all these confessions and statements to me I did not respond to. All exceptions, exception nature, they also had to hide that now, as I actually recorded. So they have roles with doctors of themselves various ways, on and off the schools and on and off the community center, with judges and prosecutors, fire departments, and plainclothes with training of them and stuff like that. Delusions wrong. They're little fabricating. They're kept needing to hide things preemptively, simultaneously, while they are kept needing to hide things from the past per the method they've been using intercampuses. There's a Ray Reynolds also who went to who's also one of the ones who was involved with the Harris family. Who's been using their kids and the kids that were in classes like in kindergarten. She was putting fake things and spreading lies about me in databases with kids from my my kindergarten class and other classes I went to. They connected with that, with roles with Joe DeMoro too, and with the Ray Reynolds and other people with houses next to Joe DeMoro, involved with sexual and medical abuses of little boys and girls, including women judges' roles for what perpetrates it and gets it off. There are a whole bunch of people with Hartford Hospital and locations next to it involved with various natures of drugs and medicines, crimes and sexual crimes, and child abuses and elderly abuses with the same cliques. So there are people with the name Joe DeMoro, also on off Central Connecticut State University, recorded involved intercities with parallel federal crimes and illusions cover-ups because they have interstates and worse than just international corruption involved. So there are medical families also with badges from Italy who are involved with drugs and medicines and even sexual abuses of the kids, relative to most importantly is how it is an identity theft, fraud, slander method. So Scott Ritter, you have no place to comment on your thing, and you have the other people commenting there, and you guys keep using passions and emotions. I asked you, I asked Judge Napolitano, I asked on Facebook, I asked over the phone for the Weathersfield Police. They replaced what's actually recorded audio with video. I'd fear God, because these are leading up to the World Trade Center attack, and since people involved with Central Connecticut State University and with Trinity College attaching little kids to fake words and locations, fake ties to other people, fake natures of ties to other people. They've been using Facebook to fabricate evidences with criminally foreign influence readings of statutes that are simultaneously delusions wrought, and that's what's involved. So don't speak about our founders with pretend to care for them till you follow mandated law. Marbury versus Madison, all real justice must satisfy all appearances of real justice. That is the Constitution. Okay, little boy. Okay. Don't play man unless you're gonna follow mandated law. Making a name for the switching names, forging names, and in response for the confessions to me and other by the principal child abuser they forged then and now. Those fabricated emails and then changed the conversation to hide all the confessions he made with a whole bunch of different calls to us on our answer machine. I fear God and fix the fake news. WFSB, Fox News, and NBC Connecticut News. And let's go with the places next to you involved with this. People that work for UConn too. There's a Mark Violet who recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed. Also, there's military police with a corner of Route 3 and Elm Street involved with them with falsified police reports, having been forged, strict, hurt, and persuaded to roles with federal crimes with other countries and with my town's police chief's family, also in Mazzucato Bakery, since before they were had their business there, they were involved with that corner and on and off Fox, MSNBC, and on and off WFSB rather, criminally attaching me and others and their and kids and their families to fake words with each other. They've been using these campuses for a little rat trap game. Follow mandated law. Fucking quote your fucking job. And